Now we're going to get into the dark side, gamers. Now we're getting into where it all goes wrong. Because after the death of I Love Nintendo 99, he became the most infamous reviewer of all time. We welcomed Demeech. Retrospectives, fury, insanity. And gamers, for the first Demeech watch of Demeech December, I've got something interesting for you. Super Mario Bros. Wonder had one problem that prevents it from being perfection. And Mario Wonder, we all know. Mario Wonder's a great game. I enjoyed it. Do I have some issues with it? I have some. So I'm curious to see if he comes to the same conclusions I did, or if he ends up Demeeching up the joint. Let's find out.
You are now watching some musty.
I love Mario games, but if I'm being real with you guys,
we all know, right? We all know, because obviously we've gone back into, we've done our research.
I don't exactly love 2D Mario anymore. Now this
really already going off with a massively hot. You don't like 2D Mario anymore? I can see why he would say that, but is he gonna say the correct answer or the correct answers? Because there's more than one.
In a case like Mario Party, where I didn't really get into the series because I've played every 2D Mario game, even obscure ones such as Super Mario Bros. Special and All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros.
Really?
I also grew up playing
Flex it.
2D Mario, specifically the new Super Mario Bros. Games. And New Super Mario Bros. Was my first Mario game. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for that game. So why am I not crazy about 2D Mario?
Why not?
The older you get, the more nostalgic you tend to get. You might remember games you grew up with to be better than they actually were, but for me, it has been quite the opposite, and mostly because of New Super Mario Bros.
Man, I wonder if you constantly viewing things from a negative lens, especially as of 1 year ago, has maybe tarnished your view of your past. I wonder, or as Alfonso aptly put it, become a nostalgia Grinch. I wonder if that's what's happened to you, Demeech. Because for me, it's the opposite. You can give me the retrospective on why Time Splitters 2 is a shitty shooter. That is my childhood. Okay, shut up. 1v1 me. Homing launchers, ice station. I'll kill you.
Brothers 2 and New Super Mario Bros. U. At the time, they were serviceable games, but after playing games like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Rayman Legends, any of the modern Kirby games except for Star Allies, and yes, even Yoshi's Crafted World, 2D Mario starts to feel incredibly rudimentary and outdated. I'll always love games
outdated? I think again, it just goes to show the difference between me and Demeech, is that like, I find those platforms that he mentioned way more compelling than Mario, but I still think Mario is still good at what it does, you know? For me, I think expecting Mario to be anything more than Mario, considering its long pedigree, I think you're just setting yourself up for failure. Like, when I want a bit more difficulty, I go with a Donkey Kong game. When I want a bit more like fluency in my controls, I go for a Rayman game. When I want something that's a bit more, a bit cutesy, that becomes an Eldritch Abomination in the final third, I go with a Kirby game. Does that make sense? It's like Mario is what Mario is. So like saying that Mario doesn't do it for you, I think that's fine. I think it's a fine opinion to have. But I think poo-pooing Mario because of that, I think is strange, because I think it's like, as Potato is gonna see, Potato always rips the thoughts from my brain and says it in the chat. But yeah, as Potato says, it's to say it's aged poorly is a wrong statement. Aged means that there's something fundamental with the game that just doesn't work in the modern day. I think a lot of this you could probably attribute to when you say aged, I'm expecting you to talk about how like, do you know how like games of the old era, like the 90s and the 80s, were deliberately like bullshit hard to pad the runtime? That's examples of games that have aged, because in the modern day, that's just not acceptable to any of us, is it? Like, I think, what's it, to go to Mega Man 3, because that's the example I have in my head because of the videos we watched the other day. Mega Man 3 has that one part where you're riding on Rush Jet across like a vast expanse of nothingness, and you have to refuel along the way. But if you die and have to respawn, it doesn't refuel your Rush Jet. That's one of the examples of like old games being old game nonsense. Does that make sense? That's something that in the modern day it's like, well, if you want me to do this challenge again, why don't you refuel my jet so I could go across again? That's really silly. That's an example of a game not aging well, because it, compared to modern game sensibilities, just doesn't function. I don't think there's a single example where you can point to me that Mario does that. Maybe Mario 2 JP, because of its deliberate BS hardness. Other than that, I don't think you can point you can say that about Mario. I think there's just a fundamentally strange, I'm going to change the word. It's a fundamentally strange way of like analyzing Mario, I would say. Very strange. 2D Mario is Nintendo's started platform. You start with them and then you branch out to other ones. While they're not bad, they are basic on purpose. That's what I mean. It's like they're basic to a fault, but they're basic perfections. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Is that if you're expecting anything refined or like really like intense from Mario platform, I think it's not a case of Mario is wrong for not giving you that, but I think it's just you're looking in the wrong place. It's like people expecting Pokemon to be this high fidelity, insane JRPG. Could it be? No, and it's a shame that it's not. But there are so many other JRPGs that you can look for stuff like that you can get your, you know, the itch scratched from other places, and even like the community, like the ROM hackers and stuff of Pokemon. I found some very interesting ROM hacks of Pokemon over the years to make it more interesting. But yeah, you need to play Celeste. That's what I'm saying. All of this is just to say you need to play Celeste. Depends on the game, to be honest. The first New Super on DS, I gladly pick on play for hours. Mario Bros. Pipe 2D. Yeah, play that for a bit. Same with New Super Mario. I think it all comes down to preference. Your favorite Mario game is going to be the first one you played. Okay, that's my theory, and I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it.
It's like the original trilogy and world, the Super Mario Land games, New Super Mario Brothers, and to an extent Wii, and Super Mario Maker 1 and 2. But considering New Super Mario Bros. U was the most recent 2D Mario game, I was concerned that it could be the future of 2D Mario, and I didn't want that. Not only is it unoriginal, but the gameplay is boring. Level design feels robotic, and it contains archaic elements like the time limit. I was convinced 2D Mario...
Now, when he says, like, it's a bit recycled, I agree. The time limit, though? Are you really getting angry at Mario? Are you really caught... This is one of those moments where he's technically right, but I think this is not probably your best foot forward. It's like the lives, I would say, is like a mechanic in the modern day, is a bit archaic. I would agree. Like, there's no point having game over systems are just kind of like old hat. I would agree with that. Time limits in platforms, I would also agree, is pretty old hat. It comes from the arcade era of games where they wanted to make sure that you had a limited time to play, so you keep dunking in quarters. It's a bit archaic, but I don't think Mario does that to an offensive degree where you would say it's aged or it's outdated or like it bothers you. Does that make sense? I think that's the problem Demeech has. It's like he's right on a technical level, but if you want to convince people to be on your side, you have to put your best foot forward, especially if you're being negative on the internet, because you're always going to get that crowd of people that are saying, why are you hating things that I like? Why are you hating things I like? And then what ends up happening is once those people go away, the normal people like me can look at it and go, well, he's actually right. But in this case, I can't really say that, because like, while you're right on a technical level, on a practical level, chat, you can help me with this. I'm sure we're all in the same boat. I've never had an issue with Mario's timer, and I've never had an issue with Mario's lives. I've always had more lives than I need to if I didn't max them out, and the timer's never been an issue for me. I've always felt like I could explore the level at my own pace in spite of the timer, so I've never felt like that, you know? I've never really felt like that. So, not your best, not your best, Demeech. I'm gonna say, not your best forward, lad.
Mario could remain stagnant. Sure, New Super Luigi U is a hidden gem, but in terms of...
Hidden gem... 20... gamers. I'm gonna VAR check that. In 2013, has the narrative shifted on Luigi U? I'm willing to give him a pass on that, but if some of you guys aren't, I'm like, do you know what? Fair. Fair enough. Hello, Sully. How you doing, man?
Mario, things weren't looking too good. And I just wanted a new 3D Mario game, considering I know that those are almost always exciting. But suddenly, everything changed with the reveal of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This was hands down one of the most exciting reveals Nintendo has ever done.
Definitely.
It not only revived 2D Mario, but it also appeared to be the true evolution of 2D Mario. Needless to say, I was very excited.
As was I, as was like all of us. I would say one of the greatest things about Wonder is the fact that it made Mario weird again. I know that's like a baby take, like basic Reddit take. I know, guys, Reddit take, but I do agree. I like the fact that it made Mario feel weird again. That's one of the greatest things about Wonder by a country mile.
I couldn't wait to play it, so I decided not to wait. Nintendo has put out a Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo early in the United States. Retail stores with a Switch kiosk like Best Buy and Target will likely have the Super Mario Bros. Wonder demo. I'd suggest calling and asking if they have it beforehand, but the Target and Best Buy I went to did have the demo. But another thing worth noting, if there's both a TV kiosk and a handheld Switch kiosk, the demo might only be available on one of them. Target had it on the handheld kiosk.
Is this going to be the one problem that prevents me from perfection? The fact that Target didn't have it at the right kiosk? Is this what we're going with here, Demeech? Very interesting point to bring up in your video here. In the same way that was very interesting that CJ Adams gave me more Zaw! Oh, beautiful, man. Beautiful. I'm fine with lives in the time, but they should do something interesting on that, score in 3D. Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those systems where it being there doesn't bother me, but could they make it more interesting? Yes. You could make that argument. Yes. But does it make it archaic? I think it's one of those ones where I don't think you're putting the best foot forward in terms of arguments.
The fundamental gameplay consists of running, jumping, stomping on Goombas, stomping on Koopas, though this time you can actually do that. You can't do that in the Mario Brothers arcade game, and powering up. I mean, how could you stomp on Koopas in the Mario Brothers arcade game? Those are shell creepers. Everyone knows that. Unless you're Chris Pratt, that is. Some Mario games like Super...
Jab at Chris Pratt, yeah? I mean... Was this at the peak of Chris Pratt hate? Which, to be fair, I don't know, it's a bit justified. He should not have been in my Mario. It should have been Charles Martinet.
Mario Brothers 2 strayed away from the classic formula, but most of them have retained the core formula of 2D Mario games. See, the problem with games like New Super Mario Bros. U, the problem isn't that it retained a classic formula, it's that it didn't do anything new, and suffered from level design that felt automated. Elements like the power-ups, throwing Koopa shells, and squashing baddies are part of Mario's identity, and it's important to have them. They're integral to 2D Mario, just like racing is to Mario Kart. You wouldn't want Mario Kart 9 to become a dating sim, just...
Speak for yourself.
Like most...
I mean, you would love it to be a dating sim, wouldn't you? Oh, Pauline! Oh, I didn't know we'd go on Royal Raceway together. Oh no, Mario. Maybe I am your one-up girl.
Want 2D Mario not to feel like 2D Mario. Okay, to be real with you guys, I'd be down for a Mario dating sim.
Of course you would, Demeech. Of course you would. Why am I not shocked? Oh, why am I not shocked? Why Mario dating sim is the worst thing that Nintendo's ever made, and then the whole video is like 30 minutes long. There's like a Demeech sketch in the last 3 minutes, and it mainly just comes down to I can't date Bowser. That's gonna be. That is an alternate timeline with that video.
But only if it's a spin.
Wiggler kinda bad though. Mods sentenced him to 10 minutes of Demeech.
The demo has 7 levels, 5 main levels, 1 badge level, and another secret sort of level, and it gave you a good idea of what to expect from the full game, and I played all of them. The aspect of Super Mario Bros. Wonder I was most excited to see was with level design. As I've stated before, 2D Mario feels outdated compared to most 2D platformers that are modern, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the evolution we needed when it comes to level design. Part of what makes modern platformers like Rayman Legends and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze so great is the interactivity you can have with the environments, and in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, there is a lot of it. You can discover platforms that'll appear as you walk towards them. And
I know, Demeech, so far I'm feeling like I've been clickbaited, Demeech. What's the one problem? It's been half of your video so
ones who claim
okay, Demeech, you've got like 3 minutes left, brother. This is the problem with I Love Nintendo 999 would never clickbait us. See, he would never clickbait us. He gave us a video of his Game Boy collection. We got his Game Boy collection. He gave us a video of a gorilla in his backyard, and we got a gorilla in his backyard. See, I Love Nintendo 99 would never clickbait us. We are 11 minutes into Mitch, and I don't know what the one problem is that's going to prevent it from perfection. How are you going to convince us? How the downfall of I Love Nintendo 99
don't matter, and it's okay for Pokemon to have bad graphics.
Guys, wake up! Wake up! He's doing the thing. Hang on. Let's go back a little. Pokemon mentioned. Let's go. Oh, is this a thing that you were complaining about, Potato, and the people in the subreddit? He'll just shoehorn in like Pokemon hate out of nowhere, and I'm like, really? Does he? He's like, we have experience. This is my sleeper agent. I was asleep. I must defend Scarlet Violet. Must defend Scarlet. What? Come on, let's go.
Claim graphics don't matter, and it's okay for Pokemon to have bad graphics. I think the real question is, was there anything I didn't like or was concerned about. One of my concerns...
Chat, here we go. He has got... I'm going to assume he does like a 20-second outro. So he's got like, what, 2 minutes, basically? 2 minutes, guys. He's got 2 minutes to tell us the one problem with this game. Demeech, the floor is yours.
Applies to most modern Nintendo games, but I am worried it could be too easy. I did see elements of challenge, and I'm hoping we can at least go back to Super Mario World levels of challenging, but the only major criticism...
Was Super Mario World... I haven't played Super Mario World in a while, chat. I don't think I'd consider that game challenging. I mean, Wonder was a bit easy, but I also thought World was too. Unless you're talking about the Special World. The Special World got a bit chicanerous. And the Star World. But the rest of the game, though? Let's continue, Demeech.
I have is how Yoshi is handled. He's an easy mode character that cannot take damage or power up. I don't like this because Yoshi is fun to play as. He has his signature abilities. It's one thing if he can't power up, but not take damage. Because of that, I won't want to play as him. I have...
Mr. Meech. First name D. Are you telling me the one thing that's stopping this whole game from perfection is an optional character? Is this really what you're going to tell me, Demeech? Is this really... There's no way I just watched a 12-minute yap sesh and it's Yoshi. There is no way you lied to me, Demeech. There's... Let's keep watching.
I have a certain animosity towards easy modes like this.
What? Why? Why? Why do you have an You're playing a baby game, Demeech. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, no, Demeech, no. See, I love Nintendo 99 would never do this. What? You're playing a baby game. Why? No. No, Demeech, no. Let's hear him out, Chad. Let's hear him out.
Things like the Super Guide, White Tanuki Suit. Why bother playing a game if you don't care enough to become skilled and challenge yourself?
Because it's an accessibility. Oh, Demeech, you've just triggered my... You actually unironically triggered my trap card. If there's one thing... I've gone on this rant before, but I think it bears repeating for the sake of Demeech December. I well and truly believe that video games are art. But one of the things that makes video games different from other art forms is that there's a barrier to entry. You don't need a barrier to entry to listen to music. You don't need there's no barrier to entry to watch a play. But there is a barrier to entry to playing video games. You have to be skilled enough to play the video game. Now, that unfortunately, while that is one of the greatest strengths of video games, it also is one of the greatest weaknesses too, in that not everyone is able to enjoy video games at the same level as you'd ideally want them to. Now, while some developers take that into account and simply tell you, the player, hey, if you cannot play at this level, we don't want you playing our game, in the case of like your Dark Souls, your Elden Rings, Mario is not a game that is advertised as such. It's advertised as a game for the whole family. A game that ideally the whole family can enjoy. And it's one of, I think, Nintendo's greatest strengths. They did it in Scarlet and Violet with the whole, if you've interacted with a Pokemon before, you know what types are its type matchups. They did it in Mario Kart Deluxe with the smart steering and auto acceleration. And they did it quite nicely in Mario Wonder with the Yoshi thing. Yoshi as a character is simply the little brother, the little brother mode, right? And it allows someone who's a younger Mario fan who probably isn't as proficient as me and you to enjoy the game to the same degree as me or you would. Now, is there a part of me, as I'm sure there is a part of you, that's like, video games are a challenge, you're supposed to work hard to get them? Of course there is. I don't think the kind of place to have that attitude is a baby Mario game, Demeech. And I think that you should be ashamed of yourself for having this take in 2023. I genuinely think you should be ashamed of yourself, because I think anybody that champions anti-accessibility in video games should not be in this industry anymore. And I believe that with my chest. I mean that. I genuinely do. I think any accessibility feature in a game that that is deliberately made for anyone to enjoy, it should be made so that anyone can enjoy it. That is why. So your Dark Souls, they can be as hard. They're too hard for me. I don't play them because they're too hard, and that's fine. I don't ever complain about Dark Souls or Elden Ring because they're very deliberately made for a certain type of gamer. This is not made for a certain kinds of gamer. So if what you're telling me is that Yoshi being a playable character, which is something that I don't think it's ever been done in a mainline Mario game other than Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's never been playable. So the fact that they introduced Yoshi as a playable character in a 2D traditional Mario, but kept his moveset intact, is quite nice of them, because if you wanted Yoshi to play the same as the rest of you guys, he'd be a clear advantage. He'd be able to flutter jump, ride on people's back, and use power-ups. It'd be a bit much. So instead, they made him an easy mode so that, you know, for example, I could imagine playing this game with like my younger cousins, right? And then if they're stuck on a bit, they could just jump on my back, and then I can jump over the gap for them. It's literally a perfect way to implement an easy mode, because unlike Nabbit, who just phases through things, who I think is a lame way to make an easy mode, Yoshi's the perfect example of how to make an easy mode feel very natural. Because at any point, because what was it, in the new Super games, you could just like press the bubble button, which felt kind of shitty because you were just trapped in a bubble and you kind of just like wait for someone to jump across. But in this game, it feels a lot more natural. It's like, hey, just hop on my back a bit. It's like Fall Guys did the same thing, right? Just hop on my back a bit, I'll help you out, and then you can get off when you're ready. Why do you want to gatekeep video games, Demeech? Why do you want to gatekeep one of the greatest art forms on planet Earth? What's wrong with you, brother? Like, genuinely, what's up with you? What's up with you, man? Like, and this is coming from someone who also grew up in the era of video games, where video games were dog shit hard. I liked it, don't get me wrong. Video games put some hair, playing the OG Castlevania, that shit put hair on my chest, brother. But times have changed, okay? Old man, times have changed. Games are for everyone now, not just for nerds who live in their mum's basement, okay? Like me and you. They're for everyone now. Just like everyone is going to enjoy. CJ, resubscribing. Thank you so much, brother. Demeech with accessibility it's genuine. It's something that genuinely does upset me. So why, Demeech? Why would you do this? Why would you do this to yourself? You activated my trap card. First, he talks about Scarlet and Violet, which is trap card number 1, and he talks about accessibility in video games, and something I'm genuinely quite passionate about. Is the what? You're I don't know, Demeech. I don't know. You've made an enemy in me. That's what you've done. You've made an enemy in me, Demeech. Demeech Sir Musty beef is crazy, honestly. It's a very small point when it comes to the 3D Land Tanuki, because it spawns you lose the ability to gain true 100%, which is stupid in my opinion. In that case, fair enough. It is a bit of a shame that if you use it even once, you're not allowed to get 100%. That is true, but I would say that's an otherwise small smudge on the otherwise bigger point of it makes people able to play a game more efficiently than it otherwise would be. So I think it's fair. You're not wrong. But I don't think that's I don't think that's something that is to be considered. Does it make sense? I don't know. I don't really care too much about that. Gatekeeping Mario of all things? I don't know. Mario? Fucking Mario? You're gonna gatekeep Mario? Like when the Dark Souls Andes go, get good, get good, get good. I think it's cringe, but at the same time, get good. Fucking Mario? You're gonna do it on Mario? Oh man, this is Musty's fury. I need the thing in the corner of the screen. I think it would be better if it easy mode or toggle in the menu instead of tied to a character. I want to play as Yoshi, but don't want to play it. Would it be better? Yes, but I'm not complaining either way. I think it's nice that Nintendo gave us that option nonetheless, because otherwise it's like, what, do you make Yoshi just have the same moveset as every other playable character? How do you balance Yoshi otherwise? Do you make it so that he can't ride on people's backs and take away his fly jump? It seems like a bit of a weird corner that they designed themselves in. Or do you just simply keep Yoshi's moveset but make it so that he can't have power-ups and he dies? Like, it's one of those things where, like, they could have gone around it a better way, but I'm glad that they implemented it the way they did, I would say. I'm glad they implemented it the way they did. But either way, this reminds me of the whole Persona 3 Reload difficulty discourse. Was it the same? Video games when people want to play video games. No, we don't want you to play. Demeech, you disappoint me, Demeech. You disappoint me.
That's part of the fun, and modes like this destroy the very concept of what gaming's all about. If you're bad at a game, well, you should lose. I've heard arguments these modes are for accessibility.
Yes.
Yeah, the only accessibility I can think of is accessibility for gaming journalists, but none of the...
What about, like, a grandma who has arthritis who wants to play video games with her grandson or granddaughter? You ever think about that, Demeech? I don't want to pull the soy card, but, like, that's literally the kinds of people who these options are made for. Like 3-4-year-olds and, like, older gamers. These are the options that This is actually so cringe, Demeech. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think I was gonna get this annoyed with you already, Demeech, but I am a little perturbed, I'll tell you that much. Jesus Christ, lads.
The retro games had modes like this, and you had to earn beating levels. I, for one, never
He's
use...
such a... He's a... Oh, man. Just don't use him. Like, again, the side point, I came from this era of video games. This is me you're talking about. So Demeech can't even say, oh, you're just a baby gamer that was born in the baby era. Brother, I've played all the chest hair games that you could think of. I still believe every, video games are deliberately marketed for everyone, should be enjoyed by everyone. Go away.
Easy modes or rewinds like this, even for the most frustrating levels, because without challenge, a game will feel unfulfilling. I'm also...
Why are you the arbiter of what's fulfilling and what's not? What makes you the arbiter of that? Maybe somebody does find being able to just beat one level that they had a bit more trouble with, like a white Tanuki leaf, but then doing some other levels that were maybe easy and then coming back to maybe that's just as fulfilling as being hard stuck there forever and they cannot play anymore. Like what makes you the arbiter? How do you decide what's fulfilling for someone and what's not? Like, I think I said that, what's it? I think I was very, very close to using the easy mode at the end, at the very final Bowser boss in Dream Team. I was very, very, very close to using the easy mode option, right? Because it was just that the final boss was so fucking hard for me. I don't know if I was under leveled or if I was just having a bad time, but that final boss was so hard. But if I talk to someone who did say, you know, that final boss was so hard, I used an easy mode, I'd be like, fair dues, because I died like fucking 50 times to that Bowser boss. And I'm glad they had that option for people. I'm glad they had that option for people so people could enjoy the ending of a really solid game without being handicapped. Imagine that, Demeech. Imagine someone got to the final boss of Dream Team and they got stuck and that was it. How sad would that be? Like, I'm glad that there's an option for someone. I didn't take it because, again, I'm a fucking... My ego took over. But, like, if... Oh, Demeech, no!
Hoping we see more power-ups,
Demeech,
be it
no!
new ones or classic ones, Nintendo has kept most of the game a surprise, keeping us in an appropriate state of wonder. And I'm really hoping it stays that way. But I'm also hoping to see at least a flying power-up, the Ice Flower, and maybe an obscure power-up like the Hammer Suit returning. They could even throw in some 3D Mario power-ups. That would be awesome. But I absolutely loved what I played. I'll definitely be doing a full review of Super Mario Bros. Wonder when it releases, so be on the lookout for that. I'll also be posting a discussion about the demo with TND this week, but as it stands, this demo was absolutely incredible.
Really, you clickbaited us for like 11 minutes, Demeech, and then your one blip with this problem was Grandma gets to play it. Fuck you, Demeech. How about that? Yeah, I said it. I said it with a hard F.
And I'm very excited. But
unbelievable clickbait, lads. Unbelievable.
Else, this is easily going to be the best
unreal behavior, Demeech.
And easily could be top 10 material. I tend to prefer 3D Mario games and Mario Kart over 2D Mario, so we'll have to wait and see if it's the best in the series. But objectively speaking, based on what I've played of the demo, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is near perfection, and October 20th can't
near perfection, huh?
come soon enough. So hey, what are you waiting for? Get out there and play the demo. Once you have, let me know what you thought of it, and as always, keep calm and dada on.
Not gonna lie, Demeech.
You are now.
Is this truly the downfall of Demeech gamers? Is this truly the downfall? I miss gamers. We have to go back. We have to go back. We must go back. I need a I love Nintendo 999 video to like calm me down. That's what I need. Let's do Mario and Luigi Wii U unboxing, okay?
Hey everyone, this is I Love Nintendo 1999.
See, I miss him.
I am so excited right now.
Yeah?
I've waited 2 years for this. I finally got the Nintendo Wii U. I got the Mario and Luigi bundle.
The return of the king. See, I missed you. I love Nintendo 999. I missed you.
As you can see, it comes with 2 games. New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U. It's a day before my birthday, and I got this.
A day before your birthday? What's that? The 10th of December, huh? Wait, so his birthday is on Demeech December?
I've been waiting 2 years.
So, okay, I know what we're going to do on the 10th of December, guys. Switch Sports video. We're going to watch the legendary Switch Sports video.
I pays to wait. So let's unbox this baby. Everything should slide out. Woo!
Why does he sound like... Okay, hang on. Listen, if If I do a Deku voice comparison and he doesn't sound like Deku, I'm banning everyone who said that. I'm sentencing you for 10 minutes of Demeech. Can we get like a voice comparison? Can I get like a clip of like Deku?
Hey, hang,
Oh, good morning. Hey.
am I? Hang, Midoriya, did you know?
Can I get like a voice, just like a voice clip from anything?
Not from my entire hand, but a blast from a single concentrated point.
Could someone send me a clip? I don't know where. I need to find a clip. I need to find a clip of Deku. I'm curious.
Feel that? It's a blood frenzy!
Why does he look like that? God damn, yeah. Okay, you know what? I'll take your word for it. You guys are mean though. Leave him alone.
I finally got it.
Also,
So-
did any of you guys get the basic Wii U? Or, I know none of you guys got the Wii U. Did any of you guys get like the basic Wii U set? I don't know anyone who has a white Wii U. Everyone has the black one. Is this a good video?
Come have a seat. You went through a lot recently. I'm sorry I wasn't around to help you out. I heard that the hero killer swallowed your blood in the attack.
Oh, yeah. His quirk made him able to paralyze someone after tasting their blood.
Okay. Maybe he...
As you can see right here,
Tasting their blood.
Maybe there's a bit of a comparison. Maybe there's a tiny bit of a comparison.
this is
Maybe. You guys are still mean for that, okay?
that come with the Wii U. Here's the game, of course. New Super Mario Bros. U plus New Super Luigi U. I think this is the AC adapter for the gamepad.
God, the more I'm just hearing it more and more now.
In the attack.
Oh, yeah. His quirk made him able to paralyze someone after tasting their blood.
Here's some cables right here.
Okay, whoever said that, you know what, I'll give you a pass. Well done.
The Wii U system update thing. Can't show you Club Nintendo
Oh,
stuff.
you're keeping that to
Here
yourself?
it comes with some certain Club Nintendo thing. I'm confused. No. This is... I'm just too excited.
See, I can tell you're very
Sensor bar?
excited. Sensor bar?
And I think the HDMI right here. Now for the important stuff.
Yeah.
We don't want to waste more time, do we? Now this is the console itself. I got the deluxe version. Comes in a nice, sexy black.
Sexy, excuse me, young man. I also love that you can hear someone, like your mum turn on the, like, Hoover, the vacuum downstairs. Hang on.
More time, do we? Now this is the
Right there, do you hear it? Do you hear it? Like someone, whee, you can hear it.
time, do we? Now this is the console itself. I got the deluxe
Mom, turn off the vacuum. I'm doing a video.
version. Comes in a nice, sexy black color. Finally.
Oh, they turned it off.
Now the most important part of all. My first time touching it.
SpongeBob reference? Spongy, is this your goat? He's doing a SpongeBob reference.
The Wii U gamepad! It's my first time actually having a gamepad of my own. Woo!
That was like a whoop and
My
a half,
first
bro.
time actually having a gamepad of my own. Woo! Actually having a gamepad of my own.
Woo! Oh, that's adorable.